Hi, this is Dr. O with Advanced Physical Therapy and Wellness, and I own this practice with my beautiful wife, Dr. Jen. And if you'd like to see how we went from being fired from Kaiser to opening a multi-six-figure physical therapy business, then make sure you like, subscribe, hit that little bell icon to be notified when we drop the next video. Okay, so last video we left off, and I was basically telling you how do you get the golden handcuffs off, and that is the jailer takes them off you. So around that area, I wasn't quite terminated quite yet, but they were coming out with these emails that were basically giving us dates, like a deadline, like you're going to be placed on unpaid admin leave for 30 days, starting at this date. I think it was within like 2 weeks. So everyone's kind of freaking out. That is not going to go through with what Kaiser wanted us to do. So I was looking at this thing, I think it was called Jammer. It was like this social media post, and it had a bunch of Kaiser employees that were essentially kind of talking and sharing, and basically they were scared, they were frightened, as we all were. And basically what I did was I was just like, you know what, there's a lot of people talking and there's not a lot of people acting. So I was like, I'm gonna do something about this. So I posted on Jammer, hey, in 3 days, I'm going to be having a Zoom call. If anyone wants to help kind of navigate through this together, it'll be at this day, this time. And it was on one of my days off. And then after that, I got kind of, my inbox got flooded with emails, people like interested, saying like, hey, please help me. Hey, I'm so-and-so. Hey, this is this and that's that. And here's my background, like save my baby, like all sorts of stuff. And I was like, cool. So I was just kind of emailing back and, just kind of inspiring hope and taking action. And then, so what happened was, on that first Zoom call, I believe like 50 people came on, and it was awesome. We all got to share, we all got to take actionable steps, and then someone was like, someone should create a Telegram, and then this Telegram was created. And next thing you know, that Telegram went from 100 people to over 2,000 people. And we all were on there, and we were sharing about every single process that was going on. And that was all the things that Kaiser was doing, like how they wanted us to essentially fill out this form online if we were choosing not to go through with the things that they were mandating us to do. And interestingly enough, through that Telegram and through everything that we were doing together, we were noticing they kept changing it. So they changed the version of the document that we were only allowed to do online over 3 times. And I have 3 different copies of this change. And each time there was a change, the questions I felt got more and more intrusive. Questions that I'm not quite sure, like a question the legality of these things. It's like, you can hire someone, but the hiring interview, you can't ask any of these questions. So what gives someone the right to intrude on your moral, ethical, spiritual beliefs when you're already employed for them? Does that give them the right to do that? I don't know. But basically, there was this online form, and like I said, it changed over time, and then it made it so that you had to check these 3 check boxes or 4 check boxes that essentially, I feel like they demoralized you, gave all your rights away to your own spiritual, moral, ethical, religious beliefs, as well as essentially not only having golden handcuffs on, but having having a muzzle on. That's what it felt like, because then it's just essentially like, now you actually own me. You own my soul. So basically, I wasn't willing to do any of those things. Some of the people on like the Telegram and the Zoom calls and stuff like that caved and kind of did it, and they were all sharing about the journey with that, but I wasn't going to do it. I was like, no way am I going to check those boxes. I disagree with those things on many fronts. So basically, I had a lawyer with me the whole time, which gave me confidence. And he said, well, just, print it out and fill it out to the best of your abilities and email it to him, fax to him, drop it off in person, do all those things. So that's what I did. Um, Interestingly enough, during this entire process, that's exactly what I did, but I had already created plans to propose to my now wife, Dr. Jen. Um, and with all these things going on, I was just looking at her and she was looking back at me, smiling and saying, "Don't worry, babe, I got your back 1000%." And I'm getting just goosebumps and chills just even thinking about that because I had lots of people that were telling me that their partner were like doing the opposite. They're like, oh, come on, babe. Why can't you just check those boxes? Why can't you just spit in the cup or do whatever they want you to do? Why can't you do that? And I'm really glad that I didn't have that. And that gave me even more confidence to do what came next. And that was propose to my beautiful now wife, Jen. Um, if you'd like to know how that story went, because I feel like that's pretty cool, pretty phenomenal that when I was on my first week of unpaid admin leave, I got to propose to my wife Jen, and she said yes. Isn't that crazy? Well, so if you want to hear that story and also continue to hear on the story of how I went from being fired from Kaiser to opening up a multi six-figure physical therapy business, then make sure you like, subscribe, click that little bell icon, and stay tuned for the video that's going to drop next week.